This is Darren with One Bad Wheel Fantasy NASCAR Racing Cheat Sheet. Over the next few days, I'm going to be doing several videos to give you an insider sneak peek into the cheat sheet site and all that it can do for you to help you really dominate and have a really great season on your NASCAR Fantasy League. What I want to do right now is I want to jump in real quick into the NASCAR Loop Data aspect of the site. All the advice, all the statistics, for each of the tracks and the drivers are all based on loop data, and you can look and a little more and read about what NASCAR loop data is. It's a crazy amount of statistics that NASCAR started collecting in 2006 at the races. Just all kinds of stuff. What they do, though, is they take a core group of those statistics and they create what they call a driver rating. And that's a really good rating based upon a number of statistics. The other things that I like from loop data is I like to look at where a driver was running, where his average running position was through the race. I like to see how many percentage of the race he spent in the top 15. I think those are really important because if you're a fantasy player who really likes to dig into the statistics, historically I have always looked at the average finish, and that's not always the best statistic. I like the statistic. A lot of people use it. A lot of people look at it. I've always been a big fan of it, but I'm really getting sold on this NASCAR Loop data because it gives you all the more information that you don't see. What really came home for me is when I was working on the page for the Kansas tracks. Let's say that the race is at Kansas this weekend. You'd go to the Kansas Speedway track, have information on two drivers who are really hot right now at the track, two drivers that are really cold, and two drivers that are a long shot bet. Well, I came up with the Loop Data driver rating, averaging out that Martin Truex Jr. was a good long shot bet here at Kansas. In fact, as you go down, I've got the top 15 drivers based on their driver rating at Kansas, all nice and pretty with their pictures, and then I continue to rank down here the rest of the drivers until I run out of drivers that are active, in the NASCAR series. Rank number 16 here is Martin Truex Jr. with a NASCAR Loop Data driver ranking of 82.57, which really isn't all that bad. And I had this revelation the other night, and I wrote a post on it here. You can get to that over here on the recent post. This one's called NASCAR Loop Data versus Driver Average Finish. And what I realized, and I don't want to read verbatim here, but I'm going to kind of follow along in my post here, is that Martin Truex Jr.'s average finish position was really being spoiled by two finishes that were not good at Kansas. He had a 38th finish and a 43rd place finish. 43rd place finish came in 2008 at the Camping World RV400. And so what I did was I said, okay, if I look at 2006, 7, and 8 finish position, which was 11th, 38th, and 43rd, divide that by 3, I'm going to see that his average finish position is 31st. So in 2009, when the NASCAR rolled around to Kansas, no way would I considered using Martin Truex Jr. on my fantasy team for that race, because I'm looking at average finish position, and there he is, 31st. I would just pass him on by. I would look at some other driver. If I would have looked at the loop data, though, more closely, and I would have looked at, okay, well, what happened on this race that he finished 43rd, I would have actually seen that at that race in 2008, that Martin had a driver rating of 94.30, which is a decent rating. How can a guy that finishes 43rd have a 94.30 rating? He should have like a 38 rating or something. So went on to look that in the race, he ran in the 9th position on average. I mean, he was right up there in the top 10 for the majority of the race. In fact, 84% of the race he spent in the top 15. He even led 27 laps. So what's going on here was that actually Martin had transmission go out. Mechanical failure totally out of his control. But what it did was it ruined his average finish position and gave him this bad 31 place average finish. So I thought, well, what if I just take his average running position, a NASCAR Loop Data statistic, for those three races and average that out? Well, he ran 13th average in 2006, 21st average in 2007, and 9th average, as we said earlier, in 2008. Divide that by 3, and I see on average Martin's running in 14th when he's at Kansas. And then in 2009, it wouldn't have surprised me at all that he ended up finishing the race in 16th place. That's a whole lot more in line and closer to the number of 14th that the average driving position from the loop data gives me than looking at his average finish. And what's even worse is in 2010 here, you're going to go into 2010, and Martin's driver average finish is not much better than 31st because it takes so long to get down to the good side after you have a finish like 43rd. So his average finish that you're going to see on most sites is going to be 27th. And you'd probably pass him by again. I don't want Martin. He's got 27th average finish. I want a guy that's going to do a lot better. Well, the truth is, he's still ranked 16th when you base him by the driver rating. That's the kind of insight that you're going to get, A, from NASCAR Loop Data, and B, from the One Bad Wheel Fantasy NASCAR Racing cheat sheet. So I'm going to come at you over the next few days with some more information, let you see some more of these track pages and driver pages, and when I open up the site in about a week for membership, hope to see you on the inside too. Thanks. Bye.